Single women own 2.7 million more homes in America than single men. Single women own 52% of unmarried American homes. Salute to the ladies, salute to the ladies. You know, 60 years ago, a woman couldn't get a mortgage or a credit card. Now, single women first-time homeowners more than double the rate of single men. That's incredible, man. Salute to the ladies. Fellas, we got to step up our game, man. Fellas, we have to step up our game. Salute to the ladies, man. That's what's up. Ladies, don't let that dude from prison come home and move in with you. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake. But other than that, congratulations. Keep doing your thing. This is what's up, man. I'm Jamal Doman, the People's Champ.
And her mother-in-law said, my son can't barely make the mortgage because he married you. And she sat her mother-in-law down and said, what a mother you are. If you knew that your son could either afford a wife or a home, you should have sat him down like a good mother and told him that he shouldn't get married, because men who can't afford a house and a wife are not ready to get married. And that shut her mother-in-law up fast. Because in all of evolutionary history, if a man could not provide and protect, he could not reproduce, because women have always been the gatekeepers of humanity. Women have been the gatekeepers of what genes go into the future and what don't make it. The men who couldn't provide, their offspring were either not born, or if they were, they died. You and I are the descendants of men and women women who knew their worth and men who could provide. So don't be downgrading the human genome by reproducing with men who don't deserve it.
If your man makes you pay half the bills, get him all riled up like you get ready to sleep with him, and then say, nope, sorry, I'm only giving 50-50. You go finish the other 50% by yourself. That's all you're buying is foreplay. If you want to buy foreplay, we will go 50-50. But that's all you're going to get. Going 50-50 is not cute. Yes, you can buy them a nice gift for their birthday, Father's Day, Christmas. But to pay for dates, go half on bills, you might as well have a roommate. And y'all know I don't believe in that 50-50 stuff, ever. Because I'm not sleeping with no roommate. You want a roommate? Fine. You're not going to sleep with a roommate. It is wrong for a man to ask a woman to pay. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. Now, y'all don't have to agree with that. I mean, on birthdays and holidays, Father's Day, yes, a woman can pay. But every day, it's not cute. Do you prefer a Christian man? I prefer anyone that's easy to manipulate, yes. Because most religious people, whether they're any religion, are very easily manipulated. Because all you got to do is use their holy book to make your point.
Just because he pulls up in a 2024 Bentley, that doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean he's rich. And I need you guys to get out of that shit too. Just because they got nice cars and nice jobs, that don't mean that they're a provider. That never meant that. That never meant that. There are girls whose man sells oranges on the corner that stay at home and get provided for. And there are girls that have multimillionaire husbands that still have to clock into work every day. So if you're just basing it off a man's job, understand that it's not really telling you if a man's generous or not. Okay? Date generous men. It doesn't matter about their job title. Their job title doesn't mean shit. Just because they're a doctor, or a lawyer, that doesn't mean they're automatically going to be providers. That's cute, guys. No. Even my personal lawyer, he splits bills 50-50. I be trying to tell him about himself. He don't want to hear it. Okay. There's a lot of them splitting bills. On dating apps, most of them are lawyers. Lawyers be single for a reason, guys. They know too much. If you divorce a lawyer, good luck winning. Because they know the law. Real good. Good luck winning that battle. How can someone be rich and not provide, though? Somebody help her out. Because y'all know I don't have time for that. Go figure it out, Inez. Go see.
It is a man's job for him to provide for his wife. Anything outside of that is charity. Let me cook for a second. It is a man's job to provide for his wife. If you are doing anything for a woman that is not your wife, right? That's charity work. Why are you putting groceries in a home that you don't live in? Why are you paying bills in a home that you don't live in? Why are you paying the car note on a car that you don't have access to? Why are you getting hair done, nails done, feet done, and it doesn't belong to you? It is your job to provide for your wife. If you are spending any amount of money on any woman, it's because you want to do it and it's charity work. And so if she takes your money and gets dialed up and dances away with the next man, that's on you. If you pay her rent up to 6 months and in 3 months she decides she doesn't want to talk to you anymore, or she wants to bring other men in that house, that's on you. If you're paying her car note and she got another man driving the car, that's on you. If you're paying her phone bill, but it's other men contacting her on that phone, that's on you. It's charity work. You're a charity organization at this point. If she's not yours, what are you doing?
If you're a white man commenting this because you never show your fucking face, you males, you never show your fucking face on here because y'all know y'all are fucking ugly. Anyway, so as I was saying, if you're a white male and you commented this, that is pathetic, okay? White men have had rights for almost 250 years. White men have literally had rights since the year 1776 in the United States of America when they owned the land, okay? And they have, like, you know, the independence and declaration, all of that shit. Y'all have had rights since then. How do you have 250 fucking years to be broke still? What the fuck were the men in y'all family doing? What the fuck, what was going on? If you're a black man and you commented this, you've had rights for about 60 years, 60 or 70 years. What the fuck have you been doing with all of your time? What has your father done with all of his time? What has your grandfather done with all of his time? What has your great-great-grandfather done with all of his time? This shit is not funny. Like, it's not funny. It's not cute. And then the fact that men will literally sit here and say, oh, well, women can work now. And so because women can work now, you should all go 50-50 on the bills. You've had rights for too fucking long. I'm so tired of you all crying about how life is so hard for you and how difficult it is to be able to make a living. You live in a fucking patriarchy. It shouldn't be that fucking hard for you to use the privileges that were given to you. What are we not understanding here? You don't have to go through childbirth. You earn higher wages. You literally could go to the military and they could pay for everything fucking for you. Everything. It make your life 10 times easier. Make your life easier with the privileges that you all have. And you all rather just sit and pretend like your hands are tied when they're fucking not tied. You're crying in shallow fucking water, complaining that you're drowning. There is no concept of struggle for men, and I'm never going to have empathy or sympathy for you all when you all have been given the world and you all don't know how to make fucking lemonade out of lemons. Everything has been handed to you on a silver platter. And then as soon as women get some bearing of right, all of a sudden you want to try to level the playing field when you all should have been superseded this. There's no reason why the average male is making $60,000 a fucking year with all the rights that you all are given. And then you're going to blame and say, oh, well, it's not our fault. Well, we don't make a livable wage. Like, honestly, y'all disgust me. Y'all disgust me because how do you all not know how to figure it out and you've had rights for so long and privileges for so long? My own father had 2 kids at 16 years old, owns a barbershop, owns a restaurant, owns millions of dollars in real estate, got his first home at 18 years old, and my father isn't even a fucking boomer. My father is fucking Gen X. Grew up in the hood and fucking figured it out. Why can't y'all figure it out?
These are some early signs that the man that you're talking to is just not a provider. And if you see these signs, please run away, find someone else that will do what he does not want to do. Number 1, if he mentions anything about money, about how girls ask for money and they like the finer things of life, and then complaining about how much the date is costing him or talking about money in general, that man does not want to pay for you. And if anything, he's like trying to tell you how much it is so you can feel guilty, and he kind of wants you to chip in. Even though he has to understand, if he is a man, he knows he has to pay for dates, but at the same time, he's going to complain about it to you. If you see that, just know he's going to ask you to contribute financially some way, somehow later on in the relationship. Even then, he's shaming women for wanting a man that is financially stable. That's a red flag that he is not a provider. too. He talks a lot about how he loves that you're an independent woman. You are so good on your own, and he like loves how much that you take care of yourself. If he's constantly talking about the achievements of you as a woman, especially in the workplace, he is pretty much telling you that he wants really hardworking women. He does not want you to have the soft life eventually. He wants you to work just as much as him, and he's praising you for that. He's probably going to expect you to also work while having children. Most of the time, if a man is praising you about this, is because he has seen his mom and or his sister in his life do everything, work, and also come home and work again. Be careful about that. And number 3, this man does not want to solve your problems. If he always expects you to help yourself, he doesn't want to come up with any solutions for you. He's not this natural problem solver, because most men want to solve your problems. They understand it's their role as a man to be a problem solver for you. If he is not stepping up in that role, he is not a provider, okay? Most provider men want to fix the issue. If he's expecting you to just figure out why the pipe is broken at home, or figure out your car has an issue and he doesn't want to help you out with that, he doesn't want to help you and make your life easier, that is not a provider. And you're going to be very frustrated with this type of man. He's going to make your life so much more difficult, almost like having like a child in a sense. Like he's there, he wants the free things, he wants access to you. He doesn't want to actually put in any real work to make you feel safe as a woman. Eventually, you're going to be very frustrated, and you're not going to be emotionally taken care of. You're going to be in your masculine eventually, and this type of dynamic will never work for you long term as a woman. You need that man to step up for you financially, emotionally, mentally, all that. If I were you, I'd walk away now so you do not spend any further time with him. And especially if you have kids with this man, it is going to be hell.
Girls who are super confident, extremely successful, so pretty, like
These types of women are always single, and I'll tell you exactly why. The most attractive, most successful women have the least amount of qualified options in dating that they want to pursue, and let me tell you why. Women do not want to date down when it comes to looks, money, status, and nobody should date down in terms of those preferences if that's their prerogative. Now think about the kind of men that super successful, high-earning women will be dating. They'll be dating men who are the most attractive men, probably with the most ambition, with the most money, but they'll be dating men that have the most options with women. Guys that have the most options with women take a very long time to mature, and they don't want to settle down. If you were a man with millions, you're a man with 20 women chasing you at all times, would you want to be in a relationship? Absolutely not. So now think about it. If you're a woman who's trying to date a guy with this status and this attraction, good luck finding a guy who's going to settle down. And that is why the most successful, high-earning women have a very hard time finding a great guy to settle down with.
Do y'all think being a single woman is more lucrative than being a woman in a relationship?
I don't
be
think
single.
so. You don't think it's more lucrative for a woman to be single?
No. I think a woman will make more money by herself, but I think a man makes more money with a woman. A woman will help open more doors for a man. A man will not help open more doors for a woman.
Man won't help open more doors for women.
No.
You don't feel like
Why
that?
though?
No.
Because women are what?
Assets.
I do agree in a sense, but I also disagree because I think women are perceived more valuable that are in relationships, right? Because I think ultimately most women actually want to be in relationships. So most women actually look up and revere the women that are in happy relationships the most.
We're not talking about being happy. We're talking about making money. Here's the reason why. When you're single, you can sell sex. When you're in a relationship, you don't.
You guys think the value is the selling of the sex part. A woman's value is selling sex.
Society believes that.
Yeah, I disagree with you guys completely. I feel like at any point in time, relationship is always going to be more powerful than being single.
We're not talking. We're talking about being lucrative.
Right. I believe that it's always going to be easier for two people building something than one. You could look at people who are in powerful relationship. All of them got better from their relationship. Whether you want to talk about Michelle Obama, about Beyonce, Aisha Curry, whoever you want to talk about, they got more powerful, more lucrative, more money, more notoriety, more fame by having these strong relationships.
Am I myself? Thank you to myself.
Am I myself?
Thank you to myself. Welcome back to another episode of Sip Some Probiotic Tea with me while I tell you signs that a man is not going to spend any money on you so that you don't waste any time with him. As always, this video is for the girls, so if you're not a girl, please keep scrolling. And these are facts, so do not argue with me. So first and foremost, we got if he's doing too much talking about expensive things that he owns or he wants to buy, or he's showing you too many pictures of all the things that he has, it's because he's not going to spend any money on you and he just wants you to think that he will. Because a man who actually wants to spend money on you says, what's your Venmo? What's your PayPal? What's your Cash App? Here's $200. That's the difference. Sign number 2, you guys are always asking me, how do I ask a man for money? How do I ask a man for money? Don't ask him. Just mention something that you need money for, like a bill or your nails or an Uber or something like that. And if he gets quiet when you bring up something that you need money for, that's an indication that he's not going to give you any money. Because a man who wants to give you money is going to say, how much is it? How much do you need? What's your Cash App? What's your Venmo? What's your PayPal? Or he's just going to give it to you in cash. All right? Pay attention. Take notes. These are facts. All right. 3, we got he asks you to spend the night with him after the first date. Not going to spend any money. Or he just asks you to come to his house as a first date. Not going to spend any money. Or he invites you to spend the weekend with him at this location or whatever when he hardly knows you. That is a huge indication that if you needed some money from this man, he would not give it to you. That man wants to hit it and quit it, and that's just what it is. That's all you want too, and if you're perfectly okay with that, then by all means, you could proceed. But don't expect him to give you any money. He won't. Yes, I'm high, my phone's about to die, okay? But 4th up on the list, we got he hides his wallet or his credit cards or his cash from you. Or he waits until you go to the bathroom to pay the bill. Huge indication he's not going to spend any money. He doesn't want you to see the type of credit cards he has. He doesn't want you to see how much cash he has in his wallet because he doesn't want to give you any. Peep game, lock in. What's next? 5th on the list, we got he points out expensive or designer things that you are wearing or have. Or he goes through your Instagram and he mentions things that he saw on your Instagram. A trip or a designer bag or a piece of jewelry. A man who wants to spend money on you is not pocket watching you. He doesn't care about how much money you have. Therefore, he doesn't really care about what you have or what you wear. As long as you look good and you are confident and you're sweet around him, he's gonna want to spend his money on you. He's not gonna ask you, where'd you get this from? Who bought this for you? How long have you had this? When'd you go on that trip? Save yourself the time and just cut him off because he's not going to spend any money. And last but not least, we got he brings up the fact that he's going on a trip next weekend or in a couple weeks or in a couple months, or he's going to this place or he's going to that place. And the reason why is because he wants you to think that he's going to be saving for his trip so that you won't ask him for any money. Because if he can't take you with him, or if it's too early for him to invite you, he won't even bring it up. And just so you guys know, I'm not telling women that they shouldn't have their own money or that they shouldn't pay for things by themselves. A lot of women are already doing that. So a man who is not going to take some of that responsibility off of her plate and ease her mental load and ease the stress that she has to deal with is not worth engaging with, because long term the only thing he's gonna do is use your body and your energy and your time, and you are still gonna have the same mental load, the same amount of stress, and probably even more stress because he won't be able to help you with any of your responsibilities, but you're locked in. Me personally, I don't want to live that type of life. So if a guy does any of these 6 things, he's done.
I genuinely believe that if you date young, it's one of the worst things you can do to yourself if you want to be a successful woman. And let me just explain. I dated this guy and he was just so limiting, and he was so okay with just being average, and he didn't really have any big dreams. He didn't really have a plan, which this isn't a hate to the guy, this isn't a dig, but it's just the truth. Like, that's just who he was. And I remember one day he asked me to delete this account, and I was just so enraged by this. I was like, how dare you? Like, this is my hobby. Like, I enjoy doing this. At least I have a hobby, like, please. But it's so interesting because I genuinely considered deleting this account because his friends were making fun of me. And now I look back and I'm like, wow, I've grown to 70 followers, which, listen, that's not a lot of followers. I'm not saying that's a lot of followers, but in other platforms I'm gaining way more views, 1,000 views at least per video. And if I would have listened to this man, who knows where I'd be. I wouldn't have even explored a hobby or potential career that I enjoy doing. There's literally no benefit to like settling down with this man who just has like limiting beliefs, no excitement, and genuinely is not giving you anything but stress. Anyways, follow along for more tips on how to be hot, healthy, wealthy, and wise.
It's a flex to be single these days as a woman because it means that you're not dealing with dust. You're being extra picky. Your standards are higher. You're not just settling for anything because they told you you look cute and needed a place to stay. It means you have standards and you love yourself more.
People always trying to get involved. I feel like I'm done and don't know where to run. People always trying to take a bite out of my mind. If you need a fight, maybe we could start. I feel like my gut becoming undone. Tell me why you can't be fine.
Day in the life of a single mom resting in her feminine energy. I used to be so comfortable in the chaos of hustling and grinding, but one of the luxuries of having a feminine business is choosing to have a sowing season and a harvest season. So for the last couple of years, I've taken the entire summer off, which means I have the time freedom to do things like drive to Wales just to go to a concert without the guilt of just being still or going with the flow, because rest is also productive. It's a necessity, not a luxury.
Cool. So when you start in a shelter as a single mom of 4 and you end up here, let me tell you, anything is possible. I cannot believe that I spent my 21st birthday in a shelter, y'all. When they took me along the tour, I was thinking to myself, like, I really ended up here with my kids in a shelter in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But we are in Atlanta, Georgia, living the life. And I'm here to tell you, if I can do it, anybody can. As my birthday approaches, I always reflect on how I got to where I am. And over the course of the next few weeks, I'm going to take you all along on the journey on how we got to the shelter and how we got to Atlanta. Make sure you like, share, and follow so you can follow our story. If I can do it, anybody can. Thanks for watching.
I feel like a lot of black men don't be providers for real.
Ooh. They don't what?
They don't be providers for real. Like, they don't have a mindset of, I'm gonna go and take care of my family. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to take care of my family. You got black men who's like, God damn it, I gotta provide. Like, it's an issue that they gotta provide.
I don't think I agree with that, but I mean, are you talking about like 20%, 50%, 75%? I think every man wants to provide. Some just can't. They don't have the skills to, you know?
Okay, well, let's just talk about the men that can. I just feel like they want it for themselves.
You have a boyfriend, right?
I do.
Is he black?
He's black, yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he's a part of the like
1% that are not like that.
Exactly. It's rare. Yeah. That's why women are gravitating outside of black men, is because if I say I want a man to provide, it's an uproar. Like, why is that such a problem?
One of the biggest lies women have been told is that men are supposed to be providers and be protectors. The reason why women are having such a hard time finding men being protectors and providers is because they're not protectors and providers. Women are the protectors and the providers. We can hit this subject from so many different angles, but we can just talk about most women's experiences with men and how it disproves everything that we've been told about what men are supposed to do. Providing, okay? If men were such providers, okay? If they were just willing to just take care of the collective, how is it that men have most of the wealth, in America at least, Men have most of the wealth in America, but yet there's homeless, there's unemployed, there's all these abandoned houses. These billionaires, these famous men, they have enough money to eradicate homelessness. Mother Teresa was the one that used her accolades and used her good to provide for other people. The only reason why men even donate to charity is because they get to use it as a tax write-off. They don't actually genuinely want to provide for anyone. If men were actually providers, why is it that they make all of this rhetoric saying, well, I don't want her to get half of my money if we divorce? So you mean to tell me the woman that went through all of this shit with her body changing, postpartum depression, giving up her career, giving up her friends, moving away from her family, deserves to be thrown out onto the street with no resources available for you to give her? But yet I'm supposed to believe that you're the provider? Even with child support, even with freaking child support, they have a child and they don't even want to provide for that child. Women provide a safe space for men to be able to be and feel comfortable. Men don't provide any of that. Women provide for their children as they are the main caretaker. The woman provides a man status, okay? That's why it's called a trophy wife, okay? He can get married and have this beautiful little thing that he just totes around all over the place with him to make him look good, okay? Now, let's talk about protecting. If men were such protectors, how come 1.1 million men are in jail right now? Why is it that our protection as women, our protection from women has to be because of other men? Men don't have to protect women from other women. Men have to protect women from other men. Yet during war, who are the biggest casualties of war? Women and children. Also, men only believe that protection is physical. They don't count protection in any other sense. When a man cheated on you, he wasn't protecting your feelings. He wasn't protecting your emotions. When he gaslit you and love bombed you and made all these false promises and lied to you, he wasn't protecting your mental state. When he cheated on you and so he didn't use a condom and so he brought back something to you, he wasn't even protecting your physical state. I was watching this show on Netflix. It's called The Most Hated Man on the Internet. It is about this man. This is crazy. This happened in the early 2000s, I think like 2011. So not early, but mid 2000s. This man created a website where he hacked into mostly women's emails and he leaked all their nudes. He created a forum for these women and men to be humiliated online, being called all types of derogatory comments. One of the women who was on the website, her stepfather happened to be a lawyer. She told her mother about the situation first, and her mother stopped at nothing to find out who this man was and to try to contact him as to figure out how these images were leaked because she didn't send them to anybody. And she also was curious on how to get these images taken down to protect her daughter's reputation. Because this site also had the addresses of the people's photos that were leaked, their phone number, their parents' work place of employment. All of their privacy had been put on display publicly for everyone to see. So given the fact that the girl that was on the site, her stepfather, is a lawyer, her and her mother figure, well, since what we're doing isn't working, let's go to the man to see if he can protect us. What does her stepfather say? That's a lawyer. Oh, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There's nothing you can really do. People will forget about it. It took for the family to receive death threats because since the husband didn't do anything, the stepdad didn't do anything, the mother felt obligated to just keep trying to investigate and create her own case so that she can get her daughter's images taken down. Because of this, they were sent all of these threats, all of these unaliving threats, all of these threats from the guy that created the website. It wasn't until then that the stepfather decided to do anything. And so he ended up calling the lawyer of the man that had the site and threatened the lawyer, and her images ended up getting taken down. When you're with a man and he's treating you poorly, he's cheating on you, he's disrespecting you, what does he expect you to do? He expects for you to protect his reputation because he don't want you telling anyone what he's doing to you. You'll never be disappointed by a man ever in your life when you just believe who the fuck they really are. In honor of it being cold and me wearing my mink, I want to make sure you guys watch the video. So I want you guys to comment the little coat emoji to let me know you guys watched the whole video. Bye.